Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and it's Greta and Leo and Greta. And guess what? They're here to save the world. Yes, they are here to save the world. Here's my issue. I've heard this song and dance before, I've seen this show before, and it's the same repetition again and again and again and again. I know a lot of you out there love the Greta memes. How dare you? But what I'm going to show you is how Hollywood not only gets it wrong, but Hollywood and globalist institutions such as the United Nations, they do the same thing again and again and again. They peddle children in front of people to try to placate to your emotions that you're ruining the future of society. How dare you? And then create a movement in the youth. And my boy John Fitch, before we get into the smallest ever and how this is ridiculous, because in my era, you know, it wasn't so much CO2 they were talking about, okay? It wasn't really global warming in the sense that that was going to happen. It was we were killing the ozone layer with CFCs mostly, okay? It was sprays and other things like that. And it's just been reported that since 1982, since recording in 1982, we have the smallest hole in the ozone layer. And yet China is pumping out CFCs like you would not believe. But again, we'll get to all that in a moment. My boy John Fitch, who I do Mixed Martial Mindset with, in fact, I'm going to be doing it this afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern. He posted this video. Now, this is from the United Nations. This is 1992. I remember seeing this, you know, promoted when I was growing up, when I was 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I'm a teenager, and I bought into this idea that global warming is a very real thing and it's going to affect us. Now, here's the other thing about this. They always mix in a lot of truth. It's not like we're not fucking the planet up. Okay, let's be honest. We're doing some bad stuff. But we'll get to all that as we listen to this song and dance.
Future. Losing my future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. I am here to speak for all generations to come. I am here to speak on behalf of the starving children around the world whose cries go unheard.
And listen, starving children, that's an issue, okay? I'm just saying that's an issue. But again, it's a manufactured issue. They want to tell you, well, we have overpopulation, and that's causing us not to have enough resources. No, we keep third world countries down, and we're the ones that exploit their resources and then control how much industrialization they're allowed to have. It seems kind of ass backwards to me if we really wanted to feed the children.
I am here to speak for the countless animals dying across this planet because they have nowhere left to go. I am afraid to go out in the sun now because of the holes in our ozone.
Now, that was
I am afraid to breathe the air because I don't know what chemicals are in it.
Now, breathe the air. Listen, I'm not saying that air pollution can't be a problem. It is. I mean, you look, especially in places like China, especially in industrial areas in the United States and big cities. Sure, air quality. But did you hear what she said? The sun because of the ozone layer. This is 92. Whole lot of bullshit there, folks. Okay, let's continue.
I used to go fishing in Vancouver, my home, with my dad, until just a few years ago we found the fish full of cancers.
Now listen, cancers in animals, real thing. Again, real thing. But really remember, are they going to do anything about the chemicals that are causing the cancer, the possible irradiation from something like 5G coming up? You know what I mean? No, of course not. Of course not. It's always going to be selective enforcement.
And now we hear of animals and plants going extinct every day, vanishing forever.
Here's the thing. At this point, I'm going to show you, we can kind of regenerate, these species. There's a good chance if we've cataloged them now, we do have the technology to replicate species. I'm not saying it's the moral thing to do, but we'll get into that in a bit.
My life, I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see.
They do.
Did you have to worry of these things when you were my age? All this is happening before our eyes, and yet we act as if we have all the time we want and all the solutions.
Sounds a lot like that Greta girl, doesn't it? Sounds a lot like her. The volume of the clip is too high, guys. Oh, well, I apologize. Let me pop that down a little bit.
I'm only a child, and I don't have all the solutions. But I want you to realize, neither do you. You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up in a dead stream.
Here's the thing. Again, let's go with that. And by the way, thank you so much for that. It says GG from DB. It's a $20 super chat. We always appreciate the super chats here. I apologize about the volume, by the way. Hopefully we fix that. So the young lady here just said we don't know how to fix those holes in the ozone layer. Yet, we're going to get into that in a second. We're going to show you that NASA is now admitting smallest on record since 1982. And the salmon thing, listen, the bigger issue with the salmon at this point isn't that they don't exist. It's that they're genetically modified and fed corn. And they're basically a crop. But we'll continue.
You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct.
We do.
And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert.
Well, the thing is, desertification happens, and we have been planting a lot of trees, and the cycle is pretty consistent. So, again, more propaganda for more control by the United Nations. And, again, Hollywood's all over this. I mean, I can't tell you about the Hollywood. I mean, Ted Turner would be one of them. Back in the day, starting CNN, you'd start to see him. He was kind of the mogul they were pushing in the 90s, always talking about these issues. But, you know, people like Whoopi Goldberg that are on The View, she was pushing this. Neil Patrick Harris, when he was a kid, he was pushing this.
If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. Here, you may be delegates of your government, business people, organizers, reporters, or politicians, but really, your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, and all of you are.
So, again, John Fitch, go give him a follow. Go check out his YouTube channel as well. But I want to just get into it right here. This is NASA's own website. Okay? 2019 ozone hole is the smallest on record since its discovery. Okay? And I believe it's, again, 1982 is when they recorded this. All right? And that was the big, I cannot reiterate that enough. I don't know if I can go out in the sun because of the holes in the ozone layer. All right? And by the way, if we're going to talk ozone layer ban CFC is traced to China, say scientists. So now it's all China's fault. But you see, in these agreements, China's not going to be, I mean, they're not going to be regulated the same way the United States will, period. And they are pumping these things out, all right? Pumping them out. And it's China's home foam gas, key to the ozone mystery. My ass. My ass. All right? And just to speak to how I was talking about the possibility of us resurrecting species from the past, there you go. I mean, science has been talking about it for some time, but it looks like it may actually become a reality. Now, whether or not they should do these things, I don't know. But to say now that we don't have the technology, at least to observe and then collect a specimen before it may become extinct and preserve that, I mean, the technology's here now. And, you know, again, when I get back to Greta and Hollywood, now Leo DiCaprio's become friends with actor, and she praises her as what? A leader of our times. No. They keep trying to pop these kids up, prop them up. David Hogg, you know, he's a big activist. Greta Thunberg, she's a big activist. Stop. Stop it. I know it's the world of social media, and you think with your retweets you're going to be able to legitimize these children that don't really understand the issues. But Leo, okay, and look, I don't know the guy personally. I really enjoyed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I've enjoyed some of his other movies in the past. He was a big promoter of Michael Rupert's book, and then there was a subsequent film called Collapse. But he was always a big promoter of peak oil, right? And Rupert did some really good work exposing CIA drug running. I respect a lot of his work. I met Rupert once. I actually have on one of these little tapes here. Okay, I've got a Rupert speech I may eventually post and put it out there, and maybe do some commentary on top of it. But I think, geez, this had to be in 2009. Collapse came out. Yeah, that's correct. And Leonardo DiCaprio, loved the film, had dinner with Rupert, was promoting the peak oil theory. No, it's nonsense. You have to watch what you promote. All right? Whenever the establishment thinks that they can get more control of your life and get you to pay more taxes, meanwhile, the playing field's not level, because they're going to get to keep their property, and they're going to say you're bad for having property or too many cars, and you're going to get taxed for that. A 5-bedroom home for a family of 5. Oh, my goodness. You have a spare bedroom? You have 3 cars? The taxes would be incredible. And to impose that, that's going to come down on the common people. It will not affect the predator class. And once again, I cannot reiterate this enough. If you're my age, I'm a 40-year-old man. I know a lot of you share the same memories as I do. Growing up, those ozone layer holes, they were telling us we were all going to get cancer. And believe me, cancer is real, but it's not from the sun. I hate to tell you, it's not from the holes in the ozone layer that are now at a record small ever since they've been recording it. Just magically. We don't know how to fix it. Look, we don't know how to fix it. Stop. It really is, a fear mechanism to gain control over your lives, to legitimize global governance and the regimentation of you and your family. And that's just how I feel about it. If you like this video, if you're new to the Burmist Brigade, now is the time to thumbs it up, share it with others, and subscribe. We do it 3 to 7 times a day here. I've been taking a little bit of a break, but we're going to hammer them out. We're live at 3:30 a.m. I'm going to hammer quite a few videos out. I'm also a documentary filmmaker. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. Available free here in the playlist section. And please, again, subscribe. Give us a check out. We do a lot more than walk and talks. We're definitely doing a Finders FBI deep dive. And if you want to support me financially, I've got a GoFundMe. I love you guys, and I will see you all on the flip side.